I begin, I want everyone to play a game. Can anyone guess what this is? Well, everyone seems confused right now, so let me just tell you what this is. This is DSP-1181. It's a molecule. Yeah, all of you guys are confused right now, so let me give you some context. On the 30th of January 2020, this became the first non-man-made molecule. Non-man-made, that basically means natural, right? Well, surprisingly no. This molecule was made by artificial intelligence at Extensia, a biotech company aimed at making such molecules. So why do we use AI to make such molecules? Well, Extensia specifically is targeting a long-known metric of the pharmaceutical world. The metric is really straightforward. You have to go through 2,000 to 3,000 molecules before you get that one molecule which can be ready for clinical testing. A molecule that can potentially save you or millions of others from a disease. Well, so how does Extensia exactly do this? Well, they use artificial intelligence which runs through vast data sets and then eventually comes to one molecule which will potentially benefit society and cure a disease. And it all started with DSP-1181. Well, this news might not surprise most of you here, as artificial intelligence is clearly everywhere in our lives. Mainly models such as ChatGPT. They're really awesome, and all you have to do is you have to just put in a prompt and they'll give you a response. However, we must realize that artificial intelligence is not only limited to this format. Artificial intelligence ranges beyond this. This format, like ChatGPT, is actually a large language model. However, artificial intelligence ranges beyond large language models. The analytical forms of artificial intelligence which predict molecules are way more complicated and have to run through lots of data sets. So how do we make it possible so that we can maximize their efficiency? Well, that's where ideation comes in. The MIT team, for instance, devised a novel solution to this: molecular grammar. Yes, you heard that right, molecular grammar. Just how we do grammar in English, where we use alphabets to make words and then use those words to make sentences, this is a similar operation. All that the AI has to do is it has to run through the vast data sets where it has millions of molecules that have similar properties to the ones that it hopes to discover, and then eventually following those rules and regulations, just how we follow the rules and regulations of grammar, it makes a single molecule. Of course, this is way more complicated than the English syntax, and it has sub-grammars within it. So all of this seems pretty cool, right? Eventually, at this pace, we'll end up reaching a point where all of artificial intelligence controls healthcare, and there will be a cure for every disease, right? So what's the problem? Well, we must realize that the problem is in the execution of things. Recently, when I was conducting my study on this topic, I happened to come across an implication of this technology, which was scary but true. So before we get into that, a 2006 report talked about how military groups will be interested in using biological toxins or developing biological toxins. Basically, what these toxins will do is that just how AI makes compounds that cure disease, these compounds will potentially be weapons. And this report was back in 2006. So now this problem reincarnates as artificial intelligence is set to automate this entire process. Of course, this isn't happening right now. This is not happening right now at this point in time, and there are no wide implications of it, but it is a possibility of the future. And mainly, it brings a few roadblocks in the ways of many budding researchers who want to actually delve into this industry. Whether those roadblocks come off as societal pressures that artificial intelligence will take jobs, or come as more ethical roadblocks where artificial intelligence can probably be weaponized. Basically, what it does is that it reduces the confidence of the public in artificial intelligence. Don't worry, there are guidelines to this, right? Established by the Biological and Toxin Weapons Convention and the Chemical Weapons Convention. But we need to go beyond these guidelines. We need to establish a sense of trust among the audience here and a trust among the people of the world within artificial intelligence. Establishing this trust is actually not that difficult, and it has been done earlier in society. Well, so how do we solve this problem? What is the solution to it? Well, we can look into something. The International Physicians for the Prevention of Nuclear Warfare was assembled in 1980 and had over 135,000 members across 40 countries. The reason I am giving you this example is because back then, nuclear war was a subject of taboo. Just how artificial intelligence is often seen as scary in today's world, nuclear war and a nuclear war was probably assumed to have happened back then. And because of the Cold War, most of the people were of the view that there is going to be a nuclear war and nuclear technology isn't great. So what this board basically did was they prevented a nuclear war by getting the world together and getting scientists and the community and governments and companies together in order to prevent a nuclear war, but at the same time, they established a sense of trust in nuclear technology. And that's why today you have so many nuclear power stations across the world. Furthermore, if you look into it, they had over 28,000 members from the United States, over 60,000 members from the Soviet Union. Yes, the Soviet Union. And in the winter of 1985, they also won a Nobel Peace Prize for their principled, authoritative, and evidence-based arguments. If we are able to establish something just like this for artificial intelligence, then think about it. The citizens of the future should not fear something like a great war or an AI arms race. Should artificial intelligence ever live up to its maximum potential, we need to establish a sense of democracy and reinforce our public institutions to make sure that breakthroughs are more transparent towards the public and people are more and companies are more accountable for what they put up. So, is there any solution right now? Well, at a regional level, there is something being implemented. Not yet implemented as of 2024. It is going to be implemented soon, though, is the European Union AI Act. What this act basically does is it categorizes artificial intelligence or products that have the integration of artificial intelligence into different risk factors. So most LLMs, the large language models which I discussed earlier, I'm hoping everyone remembers those. Well, ChatGPT. Yes, ChatGPT and most AI bots, they fall under limited risk. However, the analytical forms of AI, which do the molecular grammar and build those sentences, I mean the compounds, well, they fall under the unacceptable risk according to this act. So we can just ban it, right? We can take support of this legal framework and make sure that such technology does not come out to the public. Well, of course, that is a possibility. However, are we really stopping a problem over here? We are stopping a problem, but are we really devising a solution? We are not. We don't have a concrete solution through this. Though it is really incredible and it is really important, what we need is that we need to build the confidence within people and also build the confidence within STEM researchers that artificial intelligence has the potential to one day completely revolutionize healthcare. Well, the bottom line of this brings us to the fact that why should you care? I mean, isn't this the job of the scientists and the people working in STEM and those lawyers and companies? Shouldn't they be worrying about this? Well, if you have that thought, then I have 2 pointers for you today. Firstly, the fact that artificial intelligence can solve every problem, in healthcare at least, from common cold to cancer, is a possibility of the future. And you'll see this happening within the next decade. So don't be surprised that in the near future, if you happen to go to a hospital, you are treated by artificial intelligence. And I'm pretty sure that most of us here will experience it. So to ensure a flawless treatment for you, for me, and for the millions of others out there, we have to protect our technology from potential bad actors and make sure that our technology is reliable and efficient and becomes cheaper eventually. So won't that just be great? Well, now I come to my second point of today, which is directly linked to ideation. The thing is that this entire PPT that I showed you brings a really interesting character of ideation. And that character of ideation lies in the fact that ideation, bridge between ideation to innovation can only be completed through implementation. If we are able to implement the right set of regulations, the right set of laws, and the right set of solutions to our problems, only then can we convert an idea into an innovation. Of course, artificial intelligence is probably the most promising idea out there, and it also has the potential to revolutionize our planet, and it might be humanity's greatest invention. But at the end of the day, this is just an idea, and in reality, it will only be good if we are able to implement it. Thank you.